safety car. Field doubled up. Pollard has chosen the outside lane for the restart. It's Pollard in the Patriotic car, Kanaan in the number 6 machine. As we come to the green, the fans come to their feet. It's the main event from Pensacola. Ryan Newman with a quick move to the outside of Kanaan for second place.
Great start from the outside lane there. That was really impressive. I'm not sure whether there just wasn't as much traction there on the bottom lane, but Kanaan, I think, would be very, very surprised to going from the inside of the front row to third. And Ryan Newman isn't the hardest person to pass in NASCAR, so I'm sure Tony Kanaan is not looking forward to that effort later.
Contact back in pack. Paul Tracy and Michael Waltrip exchanging the 6th and 7th positions. PT up to 6th, Michael to 7th. Behind them, Bill Elliott with a wiggle to the inside of Marco Andretti.
Paul just trying to set up here and use the bumper maybe just a little bit, but I mean, honestly, so far fairly clean for Paul Tracy. Maybe he did change his life over the offseason.
I don't think you were counting on that, right?
Not at all, but it is interesting. With the new tire grip, I do believe we've seen rows of 2 more so than when the tires wear off. When you do have that new rubber, you can kind of stay up high a little bit easier, but once these tires fall off, you'll definitely have to be timing the runs to try and shoot it down the inside of some of these guys.
If you're not somebody that follows racing every week, because of the sandy climate in this area, the composition of the racing surface, the oil, the aggregate tends to get evaporated away, scrubbed away, so the surface tends to be a little more full of the stones that make up asphalt, and that tends to work like a cheese grater on these racing tires. If you get too aggressive with the throttle, you take the good off the tires. If you do it just right, maybe you get the lead.
Incredible battle here, honestly. This is what we came here for, side-by-side racing between a local legend here and Ryan Newman, obviously a NASCAR hero. So this is something great here. Ryan's just trying to make that move, trying to make sure that he gives Bubba enough room, but maybe not quite enough. So we know that Bubba knows how to run the outside here, and we'll see if he can pull it off.
A little door banging there.
Now we've got 2 rows, 2 wide. This is what SRX racing is all about.
Newman edges ahead down the backstretch, but Pollard rallies back.
This is incredible because you see his experience. He knows how deep to run that outside line, and Ryan's given him a little bit of space so he can stay there. And that obviously makes sure that everyone else behind them can stay really tight and packed up behind them.
Newman to the front. Pollard drops down to the inside and protects that second spot from Tony Kanaan.
And Elio just used his car like a missile on Tony Kanaan, which was quite exciting.
Another look at that contact as they race for the lead.
But that's kind of the surface that you mentioned. When you're down low, he doesn't necessarily mean to make contact, but when you're trying to get on the power, that car, it's got so much power that you almost have a 4-wheel drift up into the car next to you, and you kind of use them as a bit of a brake.
Third place now, coming up to the outside of Tony Kanaan. There's Tony Stewart as Pollard looks to the inside of Ryan Newman.
I think Ryan Newman was paying attention to how quick Bubba was on the top side, and he was trying to give it a shot himself, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. These guys, though, right now are working their tires harder than anyone else when they're going side by side like that.
Pollard back to the front. Remember on opening night of last season for SRX, it was the local hero, Doug Colby, at Stafford Speedway in Connecticut that gave the home fans a thrill by winning the race, beating all the superstars. Here's Pollard looking to become the second of the local all-stars to get a win.
Tell you what, he's not getting away very quickly, but as soon as he sees these guys going side by side in his mirror, I guarantee he's going to want to put some distance between himself and the rest.
Tony Kanaan to the inside, Ryan Newman to the outside, Elio Castroneves right behind the 2 of them. Tony Stewart has kind of dropped back a little bit into that inside lane in 5th place. Little tire conservation for smoke.
Yeah, I think Tony might have just had a look at these guys going full sideways into the apex of the corner and thought, you know what? There's several laps remaining.
Yeah. Long way to go in this race. Here's Paul Tracy muscling his way to the inside of Stewart.
Well, so much for that change life comment. He just bumpered his way, bumpered Stewart out of his way, and you know what? I love it.
Come on my boat on Sunday. On Saturday night, look out, I'm coming through.
The old boat boys are out there battling for position right now.
There's Bobby Labonte side by side with Stewart, two former teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing. Labonte with a nudge on Tracy.
Oh, Bobby had so much drive off that corner. It's incredible to see the traction that he built. And there's Tony Stewart paying back the old fender rub. I love that.
All right, Stewart follows Labonte through. Bill Elliott to the inside of Paul Tracy. PT will close the door. Behind them, Michael Waltrip and Ryan Hunter-Ray knocking around.
There's a lot of names that were
Kanon.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
No,
Kanon.
it's all right.
He kind of clipped the apron in the middle of the corner, and by the time he wrestled it up the racetrack, Pollard had to check up.
That's what I like about this track a lot. They're doing laps earlier. You can mess with the apron a little bit. You can get 2 tires below that yellow line. And sometimes when you find tracks where you can hook the left front on that apron grip, that'll really help you turn. So that's definitely a nice characteristic of this track.
How about Castroneves coming through?
Well, he's obviously an experienced veteran. He's riding the high of winning heat earlier, and he obviously got a bunch of ice on his body in between races, so I'm sure he's feeling good.
Well, what you said before about the IndyCar guys, you had a hunch were going to be good tonight. Here they are, Kanon, Castroneves, first, second.
Well, you know what? I think one of the IndyCar field right now is one of the most competitive fields in the world, so it's not surprising to me at all. But let's see how they run off their tires.
Yeah. Tony Kanon is the race leader. As we close in on the third of the distance in our main event tonight at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. Superstar Saturday night race number 1 of 6. Caution is out. It is a fun flag, as was planned. And let me tell you, with the weather tonight and how hot it is in those race cars, the drivers will welcome them as more fun than anyone.
Absolutely.
Good racing so far. We'll double them up for a restart in just a minute.
Camp for less at Camping.
Drivers thinking maybe I pit lap 20 at the next event and get a new left rear.
So we've had 3 different leaders already in tonight's main through this first caution. The record from all of last year for different drivers leading, not lead changes, but different leaders, was 4 in a main event. So we're almost there already.
This has been fantastic, honestly. The racing, after watching the heats, this has definitely been better than I think, or that I thought it was going to be, but it could be because it's cooled down a little bit. The sun going down, it widens the track a little bit, and I'm very, very excited for the next few laps.
This may be where that flat left rear on Bubba Pollard's car came from. Focus on it.
Yeah, I mean, you just see these guys getting closer and closer, but it's hard to say. I mean, everything on race cars end up being sharp at one point.
That doesn't look good, Matt.
It's about the size of a pin all the way through right there. That's the hole that the Goodyear engineers have diagnosed was letting all the air out of his Goodyear racing tire. He'll be at the back putting on a show.
Yes, he will. So Bubba Pollard goes back to 13th in line. We'll see how long it takes him to get to the top 5.
You know what's really interesting, too? You've got guys like Greg Biffle, Marco Andretti back there.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 2 really, really quick guys. So I'm very curious to see if they've just been saving tires or if they start to go on the attack now.
All right, coming to the green flag. Bubba Pollard back in 13th. It's Tony Kanaan and Elio Castroneves. Side by side in row 1. Ryan Newman and Bobby Labonte in row number 2. And by the way, Tony Stewart and Paul Tracy side by side in row 3 after they tangled a bit ago.
Great restart from everyone, really. You see the guys basically side by side, several rows deep. This is fantastic racing yet again.
Tony Kanaan and Elio Castroneves, fellow countrymen from Brazil, they have raced together an awful lot, but I'll bet neither one of them over a year ago would have thought they'd be racing a stock car on a short track on a Saturday night like this.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure they started racing IndyCar before I was even 10 years old. So incredible careers they've both had, and they know how to race each other. They've been doing it for years.
They have both embraced the concept of SRX so fully and with such enthusiasm. 2 just great guys, not just great race drivers, and it'll be Kanaan who gets the lead away from Castroneves there.
Tony Kanaan is an absolute athlete. The guy is on his bicycle every morning at 4 in the morning because he's got 20 kids, it seems like, and his wife's working hard every day. And so you know that this guy is an elite athlete, a triathlete, an Ironman cyclist, all kinds of things, and his heart rate is pumping real hard.
Just to clarify, Tony is a father of 4.
That's a lot. I have 3 younger brothers, and I know how that goes.
All right, so it's Kanaan, Castroneves, Newman, Labonte, and Stewart into 5th. Paul Tracy just got knocked back to 9th place in a shuffle of traffic.
I think we're going to have to dial up our friend Tony Stewart here and see how he's feeling during the race. Tony Stewart, it's Connor Daly. How you feeling out there?
Trying to find the air conditioner switch right now, bud.
Yeah, it looks like they've all been shut off from up here, but it looks like you got rid of Paul Tracy pretty quickly. I thought you guys became friends on your boats.
Well, he tried to scare the crap out of me, but no, it's fun riding with him, but he makes it interesting out here for sure.
What do you think is going to be the next step to catching old Bobby in front of you? What do you think? Are we saving tires, or are we going full throttle right now?
No, we're trying to take care of these things a little bit. We got on the outside there, trying to get by Tony Kanaan, and probably hurt him a little bit. So just trying to make nice with my 4 fresh Goodyears here. See if I can take care of him for a little while.
Well, we appreciate you talking to us, and I won't be your spotter, but watch out for Ryan Hunter-Ray. He's right behind you.
Yeah, appreciate that. I wasn't paying attention.
Tony Stewart riding in 5th position, last year's SRX champion, with a couple of wins in the 6 races from last summer.
Tony Stewart, one of the best personalities in all motorsport, I think, and also one of the most talented drivers across open wheel and the stock car scene.
So you ride with Ryan Hunter-Ray here. Here, you know, one of the things that I love about this concept, I was talking about it with Castroneves and Kanaan, but Ryan Hunter-Ray has driven a stock car type race car the last time in 2006 when he did a test at Caraway Speedway in North Carolina for the General Motors Driver Development Program.
Yes, you know what? It just goes to show you, though, that When you become a driver at the top level, whether it's a Formula One driver, NASCAR driver, IndyCar driver, you are an elite level driver. And I think a lot of people defend each area of their sport very, very aggressively. But when you look at this right now, you've got some of the best IndyCar drivers out there. You've got some of the best stock car drivers out there, some of the best short track drivers out there. And everyone is very, very competitive, and it's very, very close. And honestly, I think if you brought Lewis Hamilton or any of the Formula One drivers out here to race with these guys too, they'd be close just with everyone else.
Caution flags out. Bubba Pollard up to 7th position at this second yellow flag of our main event tonight at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola.
The Loyal Order of Riders.
With a special roundtable discussion on Title IX on We Need to Talk. That's followed by action in the WNBA between Connecticut and Washington. Then at 4 Eastern, we move to the pitch for live coverage of the NWSL. That's all tomorrow here on CBS. That is our in-car artificial intelligence system showing you a little bit of the business going on board Michael Waltrip's machine.
Yeah, this is great data, honestly. When they get going under green again, it'd be great to tune into this and see really how much these guys are trying to be easy on the throttle to conserve those rear tires, but also how aggressive are they trying to defend from the guys behind them.
Michael running in 9th position at the moment for the two-time Daytona 500 winner. Looks like about 2,000 RPM as he chugs around behind the pace car. So getting ready to go now with a little past halfway in our event.
You know what, when we talk about the heat as well,
yeah,
sometimes these pace laps are the worst because when you're at speed, you get the air flowing through those vents. When you're not at speed, guess what's not flowing through those vents, Alan?
Well, at the other side of that coin is some of the drivers were telling us earlier today that running around under the caution, sticking the hand outside the window net, that kind of thing, they could direct a little additional air to themselves to try and cool down. So we'll hope that that's the case because we know they're working hard while they're racing.
I do have experience recently racing some old Crown Victoria race cars. Yes, those are old police cars, and under yellow it was the worst. Don't ask about the race. It was an incredible time. And did I win? No, but we did have to open the doors under yellow, and these guys can't really open their doors to cool themselves down.
Doubled up for the restart here. I know you're kind of new at this, but you can't drop something like that and not expect me to follow up on it. So you better be prepared, like with photos next week or something.
No, don't worry.
Just
I got
saying.
some in the chamber for you.
There you go. All right, Tony Kanaan Race leader has chosen the inside line for the restart. Elio Castroneves is outside him. Then it'll be Ryan Newman and Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart and Ryan Hunter-Reay, then Bubba Pollard up to 7th place as we go green.
Love a bit of side-by-side battle in here. 5 Indy 500s between those two gentlemen right there. And I love a bit of gamesmanship as well on the start. Elio accelerating real hard down the back straight, trying to dupe old Tony into a bit of an early acceleration.
Whoa, a little contact, a little slide. Kanon up into Castroneves, and they keep it square.
Elio almost with the reverse slide job around the outside. I respect that.
More contact.
Still in each other's doors.
Ryan Newman saying, okay, which way's the lane going to open up?
Ryan Newman is the happiest man in motorsport right now, just waiting for these two guys to put each other in the wall.
Bubba Pollard looking inside of Ryan Hunter-Reay behind this great fight for the race lead. It'll settle down as Castroneves tries to cross over. He dropped way down off turn number 2.
You know what? And I saw some dust fly up from his car as well, so not many people have gone that low down the back straight.
So Tony Kanaan out in front. He's led 28 of the 47 laps in our main event so far. Bubba Pollard has moved back up to now 6th position around Ryan Hunter-Reay.
What's really interesting, too, it looked like Tony Stewart might have a bit of an issue, too. He lost a couple positions to the guys, and he's just been staying low. So very curious to see what's going on with Smoke as well.
Issue or saving tires?
Gamesmanship. Who knows?
You just don't know.
I never know with Tony. He wanted to see what he could get on the restart maybe and then back her down. Who knows?
Especially the guys that had to do that double file restart in the outside lane.
Yes.
So there's Stewart from the bumper of Ryan Hunter-Reay.
I think Ryan Hunter-Reay's got to be super happy with how this has gone so far for him. I mean, first time out here, first race with this group of people. And, I mean, there's no question that he is one of the most talented American drivers, certainly on the planet right now. Indy 500 champion, IndyCar champion, and it's great to see him out here. He definitely deserves to be out here with these guys.
He'll be with us for all 6 of our Superstar Racing Experience events this summer. There's Hunter-Reay, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 41-year-old, father of 4. Just signed a contract to work with Chip Ganassi Racing, developing the next generation of Cadillac race car for 2023. Now, this happened a year ago at Stafford, where Greg Biffle had a problem in one of the heat races and got some fresher tires than other people and came rocketing through the field in the main event, but eventually kind of wore him out and couldn't finish the job as Doug Coby got the win. I may not have perfectly recapped that whole series of events, but you get the picture.
No, I get it, and you know what? He just absolutely fired it to the outside of Bobby Labonte there, and that was very interesting because I think Bobby kind of just let him by. He saw how quick he was going, and he didn't really want to fight him on that one.
That's right. Bobby, well, the Labontes, Bobby and his older brother Terry, have both been always very good from inside the race car at being a thinking man's driver, if you will, seeing the bigger picture and being more patient than most.
That's exactly what that was. Yeah. Honestly, blown away he made it that easy. I mean, I thought there was a bit more aggression out there, but you never know. Maybe Bobby's just saving for the last 5 laps.
So Andrew Bubba Pollard, 35 years old, Sonoya, Georgia. His granddad had founded Sonoya Raceway in Georgia in their hometown. His dad raced. Bubba races as well as works a day job during the week with some of the family business. He's won the Oxford 250 in Maine. He's won the Slinger Nationals in Wisconsin. He's won the Snowball Derby here at Five Flags. He's a 4-time track champion here. And every other one of the superstars today wanted to watch his first practice laps and soak up all the knowledge they could about this place. Yellow flag is out. With 19 laps to go, this is our caution flag, fun flag number 3. Speedway on Superstar Saturday night, the Camping World SRX Series coming down to what will be 15 laps of racing to the finish. We'll take the green with about 15 to go. Remember, the final 10 laps of the race must be run under the green flag. Tony Kanaan leading the first laps he's led in an SRX event, running last season and this in a main event. He's led 40 of the laps we've run so far. But the man everybody's got an eye on is going to line up on the outside of row number 2, the local all-star Bubba Pollard.
Absolutely, and with 17 to go, I mean, this is where I think the full send mode comes out to play here. There's going to be guys firing it down the inside here on the restart because you might not get that chance again. I mean, we probably will. Obviously, there's probably going to be more restarts, but you know, now is your shot to make up positions. You're going to have Michael Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Marco Andretti near the back that are going to be like, all right, now it's time to go. We've been saving our tires. Let's try to get around some of these guys.
Doubled up now for the restart. So it'll be Kanaan and Castroneves in row 1. In row 2, Newman and Pollard. Bobby Labonte, can he stay right up on Newman and keep Pollard forced to the outside as they get ready for this restart? There's Labonte in the white car. Ryan Hunter-Reay in the black car. But up front, it's Castroneves to the inside. Kanaan to the outside. Green flag with 15 laps to go.
Oh, we see Elio just at the left rear corner. Not enough of a nudge to move him out of the way, but enough to say, hey there, pal, I'm right here.
Castroneves inside, Kanaan outside, Pollard and Newman right behind them.
This is fantastic racing. Just again, it's like we're still on the pace laps. 2 by 2, no row has separated single file. This is exactly what we came here to see.
Elio had a little wiggle getting off the corner. He charged into 3. Kanaan saw him coming, moved up, gave him room. They get through it okay.
Kanaan still trying to hang out to that outside corner, but it looks like he's lost it, and Elio will basically now just try to put the hammer down and build up a bit of a gap.
Elio Castroneves to the lead as we come to 12 to go. Ryan Newman fighting all he can to keep Bubba Pollard outside of him.
Incredible onboard views here from Elio Castroneves. Trying to see how smooth he's got to be here to hang onto the tires, but also keep the lead. I mean, this is a 4-time champ right here at the Indy 500, so he knows what he's got to do.
Here's a look at the scoring on Elio Castroneves tonight.
You can see how easy he has to be on the throttle coming out of the corners. These cars have so much power that when the tires are nice and hot, nice and slippery, you got to make sure you get down the straights as efficiently as possible and be smooth on the power.
Coming down to 10 laps to go for Castroneves. He's put about 4 car lengths on Kanaan. Then that race for third, Bubba Pollard not able to get around Ryan Newman on the outside, so Newman slides into the third spot, holds onto it for now, and Bobby Labonte's fallen a couple of car lengths back off of these two.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think this battle between Bubba and Ryan Newman has actually been one of the best of the entire event tonight. I think these guys are putting on a complete show here of switching lanes. One guy's up top one time, one guy's up top the next time. They switch around a little bit, and it's just 2 super talented drivers.
Here they come as the pressure begins to build on Tony Kanaan for second place. Ryan Newman looks inside. Can't get enough running room. He'll try it again off turn number 2.
Tony Kanaan might have burnt off a little bit on those tires. He's being real defensive now, making sure Ryan has to go to the outside. I'm a little bit surprised by this for sure, but that is how these races work sometimes. You might just be the guy who's been a little bit too aggressive on the tires.
Castroneves leads. This is the fight for second. Kanaan inside, Newman outside, Pollard looking for the open lane.
Now, if Bubba was a Paul Tracy, he would have just gone straight into the back of Kanaan and hit them both out of the way. That would have been awesome.
Newman going to stay up a lane. Kanaan protects that bottom at all costs, but Newman can't hook the outside up. Kanaan tries it again.
It's incredible to see the use of the top side here from Ryan Newman. I mean, there's clearly some grip out there, and a lot of the times it allows you to use the car more how you want it. The car will handle differently on the top lane compared to how it handles on the bottom lane.
While this side-by-side is going on for second, Castroneves is getting away from these.
Oh, there
Canon
it is.
slips. Here comes Pollard.
There's the three-wide battle that we were hoping for. Bubba Pollard on the inside, Canon in the middle, Ryan Newman on the outside. Absolutely fantastic move. That's exactly what Bubba was trying to do. That was almost exactly the move that I referenced in Paul Tracy was waiting for. So good for both of them.
Now can Pollard get around Ryan Newman? As you said earlier, his reputation being one of the hardest guys to pass.
Absolutely, and you know what? He's putting that to the test right now.
Coming to 2 laps to go. Castroneves leads. This the race for second. Pollard is inside. Newman is outside.
I don't want this race to end, honestly. Can we add another 10?
Don't tell the bosses.
Yeah.
2 laps to go for Castroneves.
Elio is cruising. Bubba Pollard is trying to get that second spot from Ryan Newman. This is the battle that we're going to have to watch to the end, because there's no shot any of these guys can catch Elio unless there's a last lap activity.
White flag. Elio Castroneves 1 lap away from an SRX Series win, while Pollard and Newman continue to fight side by side for second. 2 more corners to go for Castroneves.
Oh, Bubba Pollard just came up a little bit on Ryan Newman's left front there. That was wild.
Checkered flag and a win at Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola in the SRX Series for Elio Castroneves. The 4-time Indianapolis 500 winner is a winner in the Superstar Racing Experience.
That was an incredible event. Great for Elio. I mean, he looked like he was being beat by the heat, and sure enough, he showed everyone here tonight.
Good job, driver. Great job, Elio. Great job.
In his 7th start in the Superstar Racing Experience, his first win and his 6th driver to win a main in the 7 races. Castroneves wins tonight in Pensacola. We'll talk to him when we come back.